story about the day I met a soul of stolen glory, made of gin and Percocet. He said, rattle my bones, rattle my bones. Poured a glass of whiskey, slid it down that table of stone.
Biggest lessons learned about being on prep that completely took me by surprise, or that I was not quite prepared for when I started on this journey. Number one, being not only single-digit body fat, but well into single-digit body fat feels really bad from a physical standpoint. You always hear stories from competitive bodybuilders and physique competitors in general that when they're 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, their energy levels drop. And I always assumed that was more so just food related, specifically carb related, because you're depleted, and typically when you're a couple weeks out, you're at your most depleted. what I've learned is that it I think has more to do with your body's complete lack of stored energy. You are operating completely at the mercy of whatever little energy that you're getting from food, and at this point it's not a lot, but there's nothing stored for your body to utilize. So when you haven't eaten for 3 hours and you hit that mark where your blood sugar drops, there's nothing there. Your tank is literally on empty. And it's a wild, wild feeling that I was not quite ready for, to be honest with you. Number 2, your mental health is a massive, massive factor in the last few weeks of prep. If you have pre-existing mental health issues of any kind, which I do, I've talked a little bit about my past with obsessive compulsive disorder and anxiety, and I can tell you firsthand that in the last few weeks of prep, if you have pre-existing mental health issues, they will get worse. They will be accentuated by what you're doing and how you're feeling. I think especially things like anxiety and OCD, because prep is a very obsessive compulsive thing to begin with. You're so obsessive about your food and how you look on a day-to-day basis, on an hour-to-hour basis even, that if those issues are already there, they will feel worse and harder to deal with the closer to the show that you get. And number 3, and it's a big one, it's probably the thing that I was least prepared for. You're going to need to sacrifice a lot from other areas of your life in order to do this 100%. So the whole reason that the series you're watching right now is called Big Freakin 2.0 is my goal at the start of this was to improve every area of my life, right? I'm not just trying to win a classic physique show, I'm trying to morph into Big Freakin 2.0. I want, everything to be better. I'm trying to win in every aspect of life. And what I've come to realize is that's not how this works. In some ways, yes, because the discipline that you cultivate doing this will have a ton of carryover into the rest of your life. And I know that this has built me into a better person and will carry over and continue to make me a better person after this show. However, during the prep itself, those other areas of life will get put on the back burner at some point. If you're doing it 100%. If you're really giving the show the energy and the effort and the hard-ass work that it needs, it's going to happen. A prime example of that is moving a fair amount of my coaching services online for a couple of weeks, because being in the gym in person coaching people, I felt was losing value for my clients because my energy level wasn't there, my engagement level wasn't there. Whereas from a coaching perspective, doing things remotely, programming, coaching calls, all of that was still operating at a really, really high capacity, and I could still do that 100%. So providing more of that was going to ultimately give my clients more value than dragging through a session in person. Another example would be just trying to balance family life, man. Trying to be a good husband. My wife and I are new homeowners, and trying to do things out in the yard for her and just balance all of that, keep her happy, super, super important to me that she knows that she's a priority and that the house is a priority and that my family's a priority. The energy just hasn't been there. And I've had to sacrifice, and she's had to sacrifice having me at 100% around the house. And it's a bummer. The good news, all of that is temporary. And like I said, the character that you build going through something like this, that's this hard and requires this much discipline, will ultimately morph you into a better human all around. And I am morphing into Big Freakin 2.0, just not quite in the way that I anticipated. But we're getting there.